Hi, I'm Sam Burt from Sample Library Review, and today we have something very special to share. We'll be delving into Novella Origin, a new sample library from Westwood Instruments, and exploring why sample library toolkits are gold, with some playback examples for an original composition. The innovative toolkit format has gained immense popularity over the years to become an invaluable resource for professional composers and music makers. These collections of sounds and instruments focus on a specific genre or style and provide composers with a comprehensive suite of instruments, allowing them to create unique and captivating compositions. Whether you're a composer, producer, or songwriter, utilising toolkits can elevate your work to new heights with their integral cohesion and speed of use. In this video, we'll explore the benefits of using sample library toolkits and delve into the breathtaking sounds and features of Novella Origin. Let's begin with hearing a short section of a cue that only uses content from this library. Sample library toolkits can change the way composers approach their work. There are several key advantages to composing using such a library, the first of which is time efficiency, as perhaps the most significant advantage of using them is the time saved during the creative process. These toolkits are carefully curated to include a wide range of instruments and sounds that are commonly used in a certain genre or style. As a consequence, far less time is spent searching for the right sound, auditioning various options, or experimenting with different settings, and often layering multiple instruments to achieve the desired result. Composers now have access to a comprehensive collection of sounds that are specifically designed to work together seamlessly and without having to reach for external libraries. With a toolkit at their disposal, composers can quickly and effortlessly have sounds that they can rely upon to work well together and get back to the creative flow. The second advantage is the consistency and cohesion that sample library toolkits bring to compositions. They are meticulously crafted to ensure that all the instruments and sounds work together harmoniously. Whether it's a string section, a choir, or a synth, each instrument in the toolkit is recorded and processed in a way that maintains a cohesive sonic palette when they are all mixed together. Often, as is the case with Novella Origin, they're all tracked in the same studio. This all allows composers to create compositions that sound unified and polished, even when using a diverse range of instruments. The third main advantage is versatility and flexibility, as the toolkits are designed to cater for a wide range of musical styles and genres. Whether you're working on a cinematic orchestral piece, a folk-inspired composition, or an electronic track, there is a toolkit available that will meet your needs. These toolkits often include a variety of instruments and sounds, allowing composers to explore different sonic landscapes and experiment with new musical ideas. The versatility and flexibility of toolkit sample libraries make them a valuable resource for composers looking to push the boundaries of their creativity. However, there is a disadvantage of toolkit sample libraries, and they're not a perfect solution. The main downside is that the same palette of sounds and instruments is available to all. So although compositions will always differ, the basic tonality, vibe, and component parts will be shared by any others using the same library. This can make your work less likely to stand out as truly original. However, this is mitigated by the fact that the best toolkits out there offer a huge range of articulations, microphone options, and effects. This gives them tremendous variety within the given parameters. Also, often just adding a few other elements from other libraries or as live recordings can give that special something to set your toolkit composition apart. One prominent player pushing the boundaries more than most in the world of sample libraries is Westwood Instruments. With a reputation for creating high quality and innovative virtual instruments, they've become a go-to choice for composers and music producers wanting something a little bit left field. Their latest offering, Novella Origin, is a toolkit of cinema-fueled instruments for modern scoring. It's specifically designed for composers who are looking to create captivating compositions that evoke emotions and tell compelling stories. With a diverse range of instruments including a 9-piece string section with true legato, an alto choir, an electric guitar, an upright piano, an analog synth and an orchestral influenced drum kit, Origin provides composers with 10 essential building blocks for their compositions. The instruments on offer are definitely recorded and designed with film scoring in mind, but it's far more on the contemporary, understated and intimate side, as opposed to Hollywood epic. This also makes the set ideal for songwriting, and there are a few superb examples of Novella Origin in use for just that on the Westwood Instruments website that are well worth checking out. Using the composition I played a snippet of at the start of this video, we'll go through all of the instruments used, playing soloed excerpts of each so you can hear how the component parts sound in detail. We'll then finish by hearing how they all fit together in the finished piece. In these excerpts there is no EQ, compression, reverb, or any other effects applied. What you're hearing is 100% Novella Origin. At the heart of Origin is a 9-piece string ensemble recorded, like the rest of the library, at the excellent Naves studio in Leeds and named the Willow Ensemble. The 3-3-2-1 ensemble was expertly mic'd in situ to give a wide and well-balanced stereo image, whilst also capturing the individual nuances of each instrument. It features true legato for seamless melodic lines, a wide range of textural and improvised longs, and a couple of shorts, including a very effective guitar pick articulation. This small but perfectly formed string ensemble is the ideal tool for adding depth, warmth and emotion to compositions. In this section, I'm using the lovely pre-orchestrated ensemble chords with key switches employed to change chord, and certain octaves dictating the voicing. It's a very instant way of getting a string foundation down. The violas create a moving texture over the top of that, alternating between flautando and sul-point variations, with a roomy mix dialed in. This other string example showcases the cello more closely mixed, and violas with a very energetic and lively spiccato. The solo double bass holds down legato root notes to back up the synth bass, and the violins create a pad based on improvisations. We then go into a more trippy section for the outro. The violas go back to the random reboard flautando of the intro. The violins play a very high vivid legato, which is a legato with some interesting timbre variations. And the cellos switch to improvs to create an evolving texture. This is very much a nod to the inspiring Westwood Untamed series, though the improvisations in Novella Origin are more restrained and arguably more useful for that. The alto choir in Origin adds a touch of ethereal beauty to proceedings. Inspired by folk music, the 4-piece provide a unique and enchanting vocal texture that can be used to create haunting melodies or angelic harmonies. With its expressive capabilities, composers can breathe life into their compositions and evoke a wide range of emotions. In the intro section here, two choir patches come together to form a richly evolving bed. The lower register uses the improvisation patch that moves from R to U, whilst the higher part is on the to R improvs, and with the dark 10-second horizon reverb for a touch of mystery. The vowel is changed with a dedicated CC controller. Using the mod wheel, each note also gently swells. There's a gradual intensity increase overall as we reach the climax of the section. The choir also does lovely shorts, which can really bring a piece to life. Here I've got a dual layer again, this time with the low line on O's and the high line on Na's. Like the string shorts, they're generous with the attack to preserve realism, but you can use the tightness knob fully clockwise when playing it in for ease and then roll it back. Unfortunately though, at the moment there's no numerical readout, so it's trial and error nudging the MIDI to get it into time. This also goes for the legato, but once sorted it sounds great. Although there are options on everything bar the synths for close, room and gallery and mics, for both choir parts and about 50% of the rest, I've stuck with the factory mix as it's a really usable setting with both detail and ambience very nicely balanced. For the outro I've used the slightly unsettling chatters patch, which fades in and out very smoothly using expression and the mod wheel. This is such a magical articulation and reminds me of the unconventional ways that Björk has used choirs in her work. Personally, the highlight of the entire library for me is the so-called foils choir. It's very contemporary, unusual, and with some inspiring articulations that make you think of how the human voice can be used in a different way. And that's always the mark of a next-level sample library. To add a touch of grit and rawness, Origin offers an understated electric guitar tuned down to E flat. With its distinctive sound and versatility, the Pickup 6 as it is named can be used to create muted rhythms, atmospheric solos or complex textures. It's a chiming single coil with that clean sound with hair on it as the amp teeters on the edge of breakup. The guitars really help in this composition to fill the sound out in the middle section. Using the sustains playing arpeggios with a custom mic mix and the moody horizon impulse response and delay dialed in, we get a lush bed. A bit of tremolo gives it some movement. A layer of unmeasured thumb tremolos alongside, using the 20-second shimmering eclipse reverb, adds some unusual textures. Notice the mod wheel moves here, which add more density to the thumb texture as it's increased. It's the kind of evocative blend that can also work nicely as a stem for a more broken down cue option. The cotton-draped upright piano in Origin brings a sense of intimacy and nostalgia to compositions. With its warm and resonant sound, the cotton upright is perfect for creating delicate melodies, gentle arpeggios, or melancholic chord progressions. It can add an air of imperfect sophistication with the tuning being left to bake for a few months. I especially like it as an alternative to the familiar felted pianos. It shares that soft, dampened sound but with more bite, so it pokes out nicely in a dense mix. Like the entire library is beautifully captured with classic mics and high-end outboard such as Neve preamps. There's a couple of things to show here. Firstly, how well it responds to delicate playing with both chords and single notes being picked out. I have a custom mix on and a good amount of mechanical noise dialed in. For the outro, there is the wonderfully dreamy dust piano articulation with a good bit of room and the trans pitch at 2. This moves the samples down and then pitches them back for a different tonality. It all works nicely to create a more mellow transition into the ambient strings ending. Origin also features a vintage analog synth that adds an electronic element to the library. With its rich and organic sound, the sequential circuit's Prophet 5, which was the soul synth sampled, can be used to create atmospheric pads, pulsating bass lines, or melodic leads. The interface is expanded with LFOs, poly and mono modes, a basic low-pass filter, and glide, which gives a degree of user control to tweak the 36 superb and varied presets on offer. I use the synth for the bass line in this tune. You can hear a warm sub-drone in this example, which then changes to a different preset with a tighter envelope that lends itself well to bouncier lines. Towards the end of the piece, there's a plucky preset playing a short ascending line, which then gets duplicated an octave up with another patch to add even more twinkle. For the outro, there's an ambient pad doing what the Prophet 5 does so well. It's heavy on the long eclipse impulse response and chorus, and layered with a more mid-dominant and lo-fi pad that gurgles away nicely. To add rhythm and energy to compositions, Origin offers an orchestral influenced drum kit. With its meticulously recorded samples and versatile articulations, the Daybreak drum kit provides composers with a wide variety of percussive possibilities. Key to this are the two less typical implements chosen for actually hitting the drums, which makes it a powerful tool for both straight up beats or more subtle rhythmic textures. In this example, I've got the soft mallets with the snare wire off, ideal for the more mellow section, before changing to the bamboo broomsticks and regular snare for a snappier sound as the cue kicks up a notch. The cymbal swells eventually become a wash by dialing in plenty of custom impulse response reverb. This drum kit is super realistic sounding, and I really love those subtler beater options that are ideally suited for underscore composition when you often don't want lots of transients distracting from the dialogue. There's also a larger amount of mic options compared to all the other instruments, and I've used a custom mix here for closer control over the separate elements. Sample library toolkits have emerged as an indispensable resource for composers and music producers. With their time-saving capabilities, cohesive sound palettes, and versatility, these toolkits have revolutionised the way compositions can be created. Westwood Instruments' Novella Origin is a prime example of a toolkit that brings together a diverse range of instruments and sounds to inspire composers and elevate their work to new heights. Whether you're a film composer, a songwriter, or a producer, Origin provides the perfect companion for your creative journey, and a little birdie tells me there's more in the inspiring Novella line to come in 2024. But for now, we'll end with hearing the full composition created only using Novella Origin. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.